Hi, Tyson. Good afternoon, or is it good morning, or is it good evening for you? I am Teresa Gagnon, your yoga guide. I got to just take a big breath in and letting go breath out. Today, the plans didn't go the way I wanted to, but that's just called life. Moving in the vibrational flow of what it is that is in today's energy. This is the 45-minute practice, so let's get started. I would really like to make sure you have all your props, and I will say that in each episode, have your props ready. 2 blocks, a strap, a blanket, and a bolster are the essentials. Of course, your yoga mat and a great attitude is the most important part. So come to sit with me, and you decide how you wish to sit. Once you start getting more understanding of how you wish to start your practice, every time you click that button, you'll start to see what it is that you need to do for this practice. Because remember, this is about you being you, the shapes that you need to be in order for you to grow yourself from an inner space of love and kindness. I like to sit cross-legged. You could sit any way you want to. Tyson's a little rambunctious. There might be distractions in your home, whether there's people in the background. I have people in my background today, but I'm just going to ignore them because I'm here on the mat with you. Once you get situated, I'd like to begin today's practice with the acknowledgement of the breath. One of the most important pieces I do share in every episode is the importance of recharging, slowing down, and breathing. So let's get started. In your position, I would love to do a mudra, which is also known as Dhyana Mudra, which is a Sanskrit word. Taking your right hand underneath the left hand and let your thumb tips touch, not your nails, your thumb tips. So when you present that, just let your arms relax so your forearms are relaxed at your thighs or whatever position you're seated in. For me, I feel more comfortable with the blanket, and that gives me that little that's a little bit more comfortable for me. The purpose of this mudra is to say to the universe, yes, I'm ready to receive, yet you must be willing, okay, to be open. So as much as we say we want this, we want this, we want this, we want this, we want a lot of things, trust me, I'm a human too. But are we willing? There's no buts. Are you willing to let go of past paradigms and old ways of thinking and acknowledge what spaces need to be cleared in order for you to receive the new energy? And are you prepared in a sense that, are you willing to do the work? For example, I transitioned from YogaSource to teresagagnon.com, and I was so ready just to let that go to do this, but at the same time, was I really prepared for the unknown? You can never be prepared for the unknown, but was I prepared emotionally for the changes? And I'd say I wasn't. Yet, I did go through those changes and grew exponentially with the practice of yoga, mindful movement, and meditation. So hopefully this practice will celebrate and assist and help and guide you into being a little bit more grounded, a little bit more understanding of yourself. So we'll take one more minute because I've used up a couple of minutes. Right hand under left hand, thumb tips touching, or any mudra, any position of your hands. Take a deep breath in and then let it go. Let's breathe into the belly a little bit more. So really imagine in your mind's eye, you're breathing the fullness of your lungs and they're expanding front, back, side. And your diaphragm is being triggered by the fullness of your lungs, so your belly bellows out. Even if you can just utilize a little bit more muscle energy to allow your belly to expand out and use your belly muscles to contract and devoid that breath out of your body, composting it, letting it go so you can renew the oxygenated blood in your body with new energy as you inhale. So finding that breath practice. Let it be easy, let it be belly breathing with your eyes closed if it's not uncomfortable, or drishte, meaning staring at the tip of the nose at an object or a floor focal point, and stay there with that focus. So keeping the breath moving, the belly breath moving, your hands are cupped to receive, you're letting go. You're letting go, you're creating space, and you're opening yourself up to receive. Yeah, feel that energy. Make it audible if it needs to be audible. As you start to settle into the breath, turn your gaze more deeply inward if you can close your eyes to the space between your eyebrows or stare more deeply at that space and object. There is nothing in this world that can make you do anything. You are the decider, so you get to decide. It's an inside job. So I invite you to decide to follow your breath and to utilize your mind's eye, your third eye, your imagination to create, to design a more expansive, open, compassionate, caring and loving you toward the self. So start to visualize that. What does that look like for you? Maybe it's just being here on the mat. Couple more breath rounds, just really noticing what comes up in your mind's eye as you belly breathe. Good. And it may or may not come to you. It's all okay. It's the start. Let us start to bring our hands together at the mind's eye in Anjali Mudra, right to that third eye. So close your eyes if you had your eyes open. This is where you want to choose to, or I invite you, no wanting, I invite you to plant the seed of your gratitude, your intention for the loving, kinder you to the self. Seeing what that looks like. Maybe it's a word, a phrase, an object. And then let's bring the hands into the heart center and let us begin our practice with a beautiful sound of Om. And feel free to join in. And if you don't want to, that's okay. Take a deep breath in. Long after we finish chanting, it echoes infinitely. Start to release your hands, roll your shoulders back, blink your eyes open. Welcome to the practice. Feels good, eh? So you'll notice that the camera's a little different. The first episodes, they were different and different. I just keep on augmenting and growing and learning and changing. So there's a little bit wider space. So you can see my hands maybe. Let us begin to plant the feet in front of us to your best ability. And start to lift your heels and take one hand in front of you. Rock back and forth through the balls of your feet, opening up your knees. And then I'm just going to turn sideways. So I don't know how you've put your mat, but hopefully you can figure this out for yourself. I'm just going to turn sideways because this is my mat. So I'm at the front of my mat. And I'm going to begin to, my heels are still lifted, my fingertips are on the floor. I'm going to begin to lift my hips, but keep my heels lifted. And then let my head tuck down and bend my knees as much as I need to, and even walk my feet even wider and forward fold with my heels lifted. I've noticed in my yoga in studio practice that a lot of people have foot issues. They're stuck in their feet, they're stuck in their root chakras. That's an observation, not a judgment. Start to lower your heels down and start to lengthen your heart forward, and maybe the necessity to have your yoga blocks underneath your finger pads makes an Ardha Uttanasana much more viable. Swing your hips from side to side and lengthen the crown of the head forward. I hope I don't give any boob action today. And extend through the crown of the head. So waddle your hips in opposite direction that you swing your shoulders. And that gives you a nice side body stretch. Bend your knees as much as you need to. Keep the 4 points of your feet down. And then on your next exhalation, let's forward fold as deeply as we can in towards our thighs, bending your knees, blossoming your bum. Take your forearms to the back of your knee creases.
and your forearms, that is, and see if you can Ganesh grip. Ganesh grip is where it's monkeys in the barrel. You hug your fingers together. Yeah, like a lock. And then waddle around in your hips, depending on how much booby and belly flesh room you need. Widen your knees if you need to. Let your head go. Start to straighten your legs into your forearms, and if they're not going to straighten, don't force them. Let them be bent. That's your straight leg. Let yourself tilt a little bit more forward so you feel the length of your hamstrings, and you can even slide your forearms down your calves towards your heels if that feels better for some of you. You figure out what works best for you. I'm only your guide. The most awesome guide, though. And then on your next in-breath, let's rise up, unhooking those hands, swing your hips from side to side. And then with your feet as wide as your yoga mat, and just starting to dip your hips back like you're sitting in a chair that's not there. And then start to reach your arms forward, knit the belly button in, and we're going to open up those arms nice and bright. Open up the chest, and then exhale, round your spine, keep your bum moving back. I almost fell back on my heels. So you're rounding. Think cat back. Inhale, cow back. So go through this several more times at your own pace with your knees bent, your bum blossoming, and feel that convection and that conveying of the heart, throat chakra energy. Good, one more, and then on your next in-breath, sweep your arms all the way up towards the sky. Reach. You can play around on your heels, spread your fingers, and then exhale, grab a hold. I'm just going to face you. Grab a hold of your right wrist. Feet are still wide. And just give yourself a little side bend towards the left, but lean towards the right. So you're bending towards the left, but you're leaning your right side ribs. Good. Inhale, center, switch. Right hand grabs left wrist, and you're bending, bowing towards the left, hinging towards the right. Feel that. And then inhale, both arms up. Exhale, sweep them around behind your back. Integrate your fingers, bring your inner elbows in, and take your thumbs out of your bum. And if that doesn't work for you, voila, a yoga strap. So you can take that yoga strap nice and taut. You want to get your inner elbows in so your chest, the chest broadens. Get the chest open. Get those inner elbows back. Don't be afraid to play. Want to open up the chest. Open up. I find that most of us are really stuck in that space. Whew. I've been observing for years, so I know. So opening up your chest. There we go. Move your jaw around. Move your face around. Good. And then on your next exhalation, release your strap or your hands. Roll the shoulders. Make sure your blocks are still at the front of your mat. Lose the strap, and then inhale, rise it up. Oh yeah. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale to a nice bright half back. If you need your blocks, use it. Exhale to your forward fold. Then inhale, step your right foot and your left foot back into your plank pose. Stir around. You can lift your hips. Doesn't have to be static or, one of those like straight hold my breath planks. Move around in it. Good. And then start to lift your hips, downward facing dog, adjust your feet, lift your heels, bend your knees, pedal. Your arms are full flexion, so it really is important that you just get into those feelings of, side bending, moving your feet, your heels, pedaling around, moving your jaw. And then we're going to invite ourselves into a nice plank pose. Stir around in your wrists a little bit, then land your knees. Keep the tone of the belly in. I find that this one is the most challenging for everyone, but let's practice it. Lift your feet, turn your elbow creases to face forward, shift your body weight forward, and then keep your neck nice and long. Keep your hips up first, then bend your elbows back as you lower your pubis towards the floor. Lift the shoulders. There's a lot of broadening in the chest. Plant the tops of your feet. Extend through the crown of the head so you're looking straight at your mat, then reach your arms back. For 5, lift the front of your shoulders. For 4, press into the tops of the feet. For 3, contract your quads more. For 2, and then exhale your hands at your lowest ribs. Curl the toes, hands, knees. You gotta lift your pubis. Press back, bum towards your heels. Walk your hands as wide as your mat. Press the mat away. Lift your knees, downward facing dog. Inhale the left leg nice and bright. Stir it around. Bend the knee. Press the floor away with both hands and give yourself a nice little stir here. Oh, that feels so good. Forward fold. Like think of this. This is a downward dog as an inversion. It's a handstand. Tyson, what are you up to? Come say hi to everybody. On your next in-breath, you're going to shift your shoulders forward, come up onto your left finger pads, bring the left knee up towards your armpit, and start to step it forward. If it doesn't make it there, you take it there. Lower your right knee, rise up through your thoracic spine, lengthen your tailbone down. Oh yeah, I can feel that there. And then sweep your arms wherever you feel like you feel comfortable to open up your chest. Then start to lift that left knee. Draw the head of your arm bones back. Wiggle your jaw around. Crescent lunge. One of the most beautiful possible standing postures that we can learn to engage our core muscles through the pelvis, our root chakras. From here, let's stir the arms around and then exhale, release the hands down onto the mat. Lift the left heel, step the left foot to join the right foot. Downward facing dog, bending your knees, pedaling your feet. And on your next in-breath, shift your body weight forward, plank it, knees to the mat. Bending your elbows as you lower the pubis, keep your shoulders lifted, reach your arms straight back as you press into the tops of your feet. Rocket ship pose. So allow yourself, or the hero pose, roll those shoulders back, spread your fingers. Maybe you've got a yoga strap and you're able to pull it taut. I love my practice because I'm not afraid to just dance around. Keep on extending through the crown of the head for 2. And then 1 more, release the hands at your lowest ribs. Curl the toes, knees, toes, hands. Lift your pubis up off the mat. Bum towards your heels, rework your hands as wide as your mat. Lift your hips, downward facing dog. Bend your knees, pedal your feet, swing your hips. La, 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 la. Good, feel that energy. And then when you're ready, let's lift up through the right leg, bending and extending at it. Oh. Wielding it around. What I mean by wielding, think of it as a sword, a person with a sword, like a knight, a protector. So you're wielding that right knee around. Come up onto your right finger pads. See if you can shift your shoulders more forward over your wrists. Start to step the right foot forward. Take it there if it doesn't make it between your hands. Lower the left knee. Rise up through the thoracic spine. Knit that belly button in. I don't think this is the best stop. Isometrically work those feet, and when you're ready, let's reach those arms up as you pick up that left knee. So lifting ourselves up, some of you might be doing one of these, oh boy. So picking up your knee, if you need to press down on your right knee to pick up the left knee, do so. Eventually in time, it'll start to strengthen. Feel your crescent lunge. Move the breath. Move your arms the way it feels inviting to you. Be you. Adjust your back foot if you feel not as stable. It's okay. Good. And then on your next exhalation, let's release, touch down, step that right foot to join the left foot, downward facing dog for a moment. Inhale to your plank pose, lower the knees, feet can come off the mat or they can stay on the mat. Bend your elbows back as you lower your pubis. You'll get used to that. It'll work out for you. Trust me, practice, practice. Lift the shoulders, extend through the crown of the head, press into the tops of your feet so you feel your quads. Lengthen that tailbone for another 5 more breaths. Your inner thighs are actually moving back and apart. Oh, feel that energy. Woo! And then when you're ready to root the hands at the lowest ribs, find them, poke them. Boom, boom. See my right angle arms? Lift the shoulders, curl the toes, press in the knees. Pubis bum up towards your heels. Walk your hands as wide as your mat. Resist that mat with your hands. Lift your hips, downward facing dog. Let's come back up onto your left finger pads. Lift up that left leg. Move it around. Vibrate. Take that left foot forward. Make it happen. Find the place. This time we're going to keep our right knee up, but soften in the right knee like you're going to lower it as you rise up. There you go. Fantastical. Open up your chest, even take your arms back, reach them back, integrate them. Do you? What do you feel like you need to do to get your heart open? Feel that. Good. Now let's exhale, release the hands down to the mat. Reassess that back right foot. Step at a whole shoe size forward. Slide your hands ahead of your left foot on blocks or no blocks, side body distance from my hip to my armpit. That's the length of my side body. From the length of my ankle to my wrists, you want that same distance as you pick up through the left leg, through the inner thigh, and extend through the crown of the head. You could bend both knees and find a place where it's like, oh, there it is. That works perfectly for me. Once you find the stability through your Warrior 3 prep, lifting up through that inner right thigh, let's take the left arm out.
Bend that standing left knee just enough that you could twist and open up your chest towards the left. So the right leg's up, the right hand's down, and you're finding a twist in your variation of Warrior 3. Oh, feeling your twist. Now let's start to bend at that left heel. Open up the chest. Did I say left heel? The right heel. Open up that chest, and some of you may be able to touch that foot, and some of you are just playing, bending and extending. 2 more breaths. You decide where you want to be. Good. On your next exhalation, release the left hand, extend that right leg straight back, and you're going to hover your hands off the blocks to land them as wide as your mat in line with your left foot as you land the right foot. Lift your hips up nice and tall, step the left foot to join the right foot. Reassess your feet, inhale plank pose, exhale knees, lift knee or lift feet, or no, you can keep them up or down. It's lengthening forward, bending elbows, pubis lands, arms reach back, lift the front of your shoulders. This, as you practice, you're going to start to love it. It strengthens the back so much, your core. 2 more breaths, chins tucked in. La 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 la. Lower ribs, hands, curled toes, knees. So you're lifting your pubis. You're lifting it, move it back. Downward facing dog. Fantastical. Right leg up. Maybe come up onto your right finger pads. Reach it up and then start to step it forward. Get it up there. Hands are as wide as your mat. Adjust that back left foot. Lower the left knee just enough and rise up. And as you rise up, voila, crescent lunge. Check it out. Feel it. Feel what you need to feel. Readjust that back left foot. Fix all my stuff. Breathe. When you're ready, let's exhale, release your hands. Touch down. So in line with your right foot first, then walk them ahead, blocks or no blocks, it's up to you. And then begin to lift up through the left leg so the hips stay square. A lot of you are still so tilted forward. It's okay to say, I'm going to grab my yoga blocks. Oh, that feels much more magical. And make sure your hands are about side body distance away. So think about that. From my hip to my armpit. Yeah. From my left or my right heel to my wrists, side body distance. From there, oh yeah, lift and extend through the crown of the head. So you're not looking up, you're looking straight at the floor. Bend and extend through both of your knees to find that place where it feels most optimal. Then extend out through both legs to your best ability and start to reach out your right arm. And then in that playful moment, see if you can twist a little bit. Good. Even invite that right heel towards, or left heel, sorry, towards your bum and open up through that right arm. Heel can grab, but don't hold anything. Keep the breath fluid. Keep it moving in and out of your body. The yoga practice isn't meant to look fantastically beautiful and perfect. It's meant to feel fantastically beautiful and perfect. Feel it. When you're ready to release the right hand, step all the way back as you reassess your hands in line with that left or right foot, and then step your right foot to join the left foot, downward facing dog. Exhale, sit onto your shins, tops of the feet land, rise up. Lengthen the tailbone down towards your knee creases. Open up those arms. Feel that. That's like that. And then let your arms come down by your side. And we do this in every episode because it's really important to core strength. When you close the hinge of your knees, you're literally pressing the floor away with the shins. Literally, as you lean back, press into your shins to come up. You're not swaying in your lower back or your neck. Do that a couple of times. So, whatever breath you want to use. Sometimes you can hold it back for a couple of breaths. And then up, exhale, bum to your heels, knees come together, tabletop. Walk your knees further back as you curl your toes under. Pivot on your right knee, take your right toes off the mat, extend through the left leg, open up your chest. So this is a great variation of Vashisthasana because you're using that right knee as support. But let's lift up through that left leg and start to reach out through the left arm. So a lot of us, that external rotation of the upper arm is the practice. So open up your palm to face the back wall and then reach back and then see if you can reach your arm forward. If that's not working for you, keep it up here and just play. Start to pick up that left leg, bending and extending it, and you find out what it is that you need to work out. Like maybe you got some kinks going on in your butt flesh. Maybe you've got it in your upper thoracic spine. Oh, fantastic. And now this one, you're going to draw the left knee in towards your chest, hug it in, sweep it forward, pivot on your right toes, rise up. Once again, pick it up, crescent lunge. Ha, there it is. Feel that. So how you get up, take your time. Make sure your stance is hip distance apart so you feel stable, because now you're going to reach the left arm back and the right arm forward, and you'll notice I bend my right knee. Open up in a twist. So feeling that. So I'm squeezing my inner thighs towards each other. And then you can exalt it if you feel like you want to take it backwards. Left hand to the back side of your right thigh or knee crease and reach that right arm up. So again, that's that side bend. Couple of breaths there, or just twist it. Feel that. Inhale back up to center. La la la. Exhale, release, touchdown, back into your downward facing dog. If you want to move through a chaturanga to your Salambhasana, the superhero pose, go for it, or just hang out in your down dog. Take your time. So wherever you are, your upper arms are externally rotating, your elbow creases are facing your thumbs at least. So you got to really work that one there. Good. Okay, those who've done chaturanga and your Salambhasana, let's take it back to down dog. Inhale into your plank pose. Exhale your knees to the mat. Pivot on your left toes. Take your left toes off the mat. Extend your right leg. Open up. Open it up. Feel what you're feeling. Now start to bend and extend. Noticing. So for me, you're pressing the floor away with the root of your left hand. You are bending and extending or keeping that leg static. Opening up your chest is key here. So doing yourself a favor by really exploring what you need to do to open up into a little bit of a back bend or a big back bend. Feel the side body ribs open up. Good. On your next in-breath, we're going to pick up that right knee, draw the right knee towards the chest. Mindfully step it forward as you repivot that left knee, toes back. Rise up off your finger pads, lift up by engaging your inner thighs. You're in your crescent lunge. Maybe adjust that back foot. Twisting it out now. Inhale, playfully reach up. Exhale, right arm forward, left arm forward, right arm back. Squeeze your inner thighs towards each other like you got to go pee-pee. Soften that back left knee so you can get a greater twist out of it. Keep your neck neutral. Maybe you want to reach up through that left arm and take your right hand to the back of the left thigh for an exalted crescent lunge. It's up to you. Or keep it a twist. The beauty of yoga, it's not about any other formal expectation. It's about you just, being in this shape and making it your own. Inhale back to center. Exhale, release, touch down. This time we're going to step that left foot up and forward to meet the right foot. Bend your knees, forward fold as much as you can into your Uttanasana. Let your head go. Let your head go. Let it go. Good. Root through the 4 points of your feet. Hinge at your hips and your knees like you're sitting in a chair that's not there. Sweep your arms forward. You're back in your Utkatasana chair pose. Feel that. Stick your bum back. Root down. We're going to hold that, but not your breath. You can let it be a little bit dancer like for 4 more breaths. Open up your arms if you need to. For 3, knit that belly button in. For 2, sink your hips for the back. You'll feel your hamstrings and your glutes. And then on your next in-breath, take it skyward. Exhale to Anjali Mudra. Beautiful. Inhale, sweep it up. Exhale, hinge hips, knees, forward fold. Come on down. Inhale to a nice half back. Use your blocks if you need to. A couple of breaths here. Even lift your heels and play on the balls of your feet for a moment, just noticing all that energy. Lower the heels if you lift them up. Hands as wide as your mat. Step left foot, right foot back into plank. There we go. Whatever that looks like to get you there. Lower the knees to the mat. Sit back on your shins. Take a big breather. If seated in this position does not work for you, sit on your bum. Because now, whether you can use your yoga strap or integrate your hands behind your back, can you lift your chest up? Roll the shoulders back. Wiggle the jaw. La, 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 la. So really paying attention to the anterior shoulders. When they get stucky and stuck like this, Do not push to get them to do that. Instead, invite them with kindness and practice. Meet yourself where you're at. No pushing. So breathing into that space. Whew, move your neck around. That is really helpful. Good. And then when you're ready to release your hands, let's find our tabletop position. Slide your knees back. Toes are curled under. Use your blanket for your knees with your hands as wide as your mat. Take your knees a little further back behind your hips. So they're not straight under, they're further back. Lift the left hand, move your bum back towards your right heel and start to move and twist through the side body. Good, keep the root of your right index finger and thumb clawing at that mat. Exhale, release the left hand. Sit back towards your heels, reach the right arm up. Get right into that. Find your twist. Good, and when you're ready to release the right hand, shift back up into shoulders over wrists. This time we're going to extend the left leg straight back so the knee's off the mat, and then take the right leg back. Very good, plank pose. If this is not working for you, you can lower your right knee, turn your right toes off the mat because we're moving to the outer edge of the right foot, stacking the left side on top of the right side. You got it. So again, Vashisthasana, or knee supporting your Vashisthasana for 5. Yes, you've got it for 4. Now, some of you are in your Vashisthasana, but you want to pick up that left leg and land the left foot behind you. Please do. Open up. Did I say 5, 4 already? 3. Now look towards the front of your mat. No matter what position you're in, start to pick up that left leg and start to move it forward. You've got it. If your left knee is, or your right knee is down, start to pick it up as you realign yourself. You're in crescent lunge. Reassess that back right foot so that you are solid. And then let's find that crescent lunge, toning the belly, waving the spine. Reach out through the left arm to twist towards the left thigh. Open up your chest. Feeling that, soften the back knee. Maybe exalt it. When you're ready to come back center, feel that energy. Exhale, release. Touch down, whether you move through a chaturanga, the whole knees if you need to your Salambhasana, or you're right back into your down dog. You decide. Be you. Make sure your hands are as wide as your mat eventually, finding your way into your down dog eventually. Whew. And then very mindfully landing your knees to the mat. Plant or flex your feet, that means point them. Rise up, roll your shoulders. Again, choose a strap or no strap and open up the chest. Ooh, that was a nice little pop. If you prefer not to sit on your shins and coming up on your knees is better for you, then do that. Breathe your breath. 3 more breaths. Get those shoulders back. Yeah, open up your chest. You've got it. Good. And then when you're ready to exhale, come back into tabletop. Knees are going to be slightly behind your hips. We're going to lean back towards those heels as we open up the right arm. Oh, connection. So important to connect. Wielding it around. Tabletop, left arm as you move your bum towards your heels. Oh, there it is. I make all kinds of funny faces. I love my yoga practice. When you're ready to release the left hand, this is where we're going to find our plank pose. Straightening out through the right leg, just noticing. If that's too difficult for you today, I understand. Don't judge. Maybe your Vashisthasana, your side plank is going to be left knee stays down, left toes come out, and you come into your side Vashisthasana. For me, I'm going to lengthen right leg and left leg, pivot to the outside of the left foot, stack the right side on top of the left. That's my Vashisthasana. Make sure your feet are dorsiflexed if you're in your Vashisthasana. Again, you could be in that other pose. You're doing you. It's all about you, and it's not static. It's not stuck. Because on our next breath, what we'd like to do, right, you could take it back, maybe picking up that right foot and landing it behind you. So even in this position, you can reach that right foot behind you and take yourself into a back bend. It's all about your flexibility. Vashisthasana variations. Where are you in your practice today? Whew. I could do this one. Good. When you're ready to take that right leg up in towards your chest, land it forward, reassess that back foot, soften that back left knee and rise up. Crescent lunge. Reassess so you feel secure. Okay, get into your feet. Foundation's so important. Twist towards the right. So the left arm moves forward and the right arm moves back, and you squeeze your inner thighs, and that back left knee, it bends in order for you to twist. Can you find your twist? Maybe you exalt it. Figuring out what you need to do for yourself today is so important. Inhale, take it forward. Exhale, touch down. Oh yeah, step your right foot to join the left foot. Exhale to your shins, your knees. Either a child's pose or Virasana or other shape and form that you wish to sit on your bum. Take a couple of breaths here just to really remind yourself of belly breathing, slowing it down. Talking and teaching is like, whew. And if all we did was belly breathe, you would be that much further in feeling the harmonious, wonderful homeostasis of the body where it is happy. So don't think you have to do more. Less is more. From here, we are going to get off those wrists. So we're going to scoot your bum to the side. I'm just going to turn to face you. And we're going to pick up those knees and bring the feet in front of us just for a moment. Okay, it's just for a moment. So you're just kind of like, okay, just like that. Bring your feet to the edge of the mat, hold the front of your knees, and cat your back as you scoop the tailbone round yourself. So like you're a rocking chair, everybody's like, what's a rocking chair? Anyways, you're rounding your spine like a bowl. So the whole front body becomes that bowl. So it's a cat back. So pressing your spine towards the floor, start to lift your heels. Arms are straight and strong because you're resisting your knees. And you start to really roll from the sacrum to the lumbar spine. Yeah, this is where the magic is. Working it. So you can literally rock that your whole spine is smooth. You'll get there, trust me. And then slowly start to roll yourself down as I move my voice box out of the way. And as you roll onto your backside, oh, that feels good to get off the wrist, doesn't it? We're not done. So you're going to open up your feet, hook your hands inside your knees, let your elbows hang towards the floor. Maybe they touch the floor, maybe they don't. Ouch, I didn't mean to bang my elbow. And then start to playfully press out one heel, dorsiflex, plantar flex, rotate, spread toes, the other one. Feeling the magic of your inner thighs. Let the inner thighs open. That's a big one right there. Breathe into your belly, the fullness of your lungs. And then exhale, squeeze your knees together. Release the right foot onto mat. Wrap your left thigh around your left thigh around your right thigh. Pick your feet up off the mat, grab a hold of your knees, and just hug them in towards your chest. Now, for a lot of you, that's enough. And if you've got boobies and belly, you might be struggling to get your knees. Don't struggle. Lasso your knees like a cowgirl, cowboy. Lasso. And maybe that's where you're at. Some of you have the knees squeezing in, and you're also able to dorsiflex your feet and grab the outer edges of your feet and open up your feet to the outer walls. Eagle legs, pure on. Feel it. Or Garandasana, Garandasana. Yeah. Feeling what you're feeling. Yeah, this big stuff. Actually, yeah, your glutes really get a lot of activity. So no matter where you are in this position, your right glute is saying, left glute is saying something, guaranteed. I know it. I've been doing this too long to say that I'm not going to be blind-eyed to that one. Good, and then when you're ready, let's release those legs, shake them up towards the sky. Shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it. Good. And then we're going to wrap the right thigh over the left, bend your knees. Once again, you can hold your knees and grab them in. You can rotate your ankles, spread your toes. You can lasso your knees to give yourself some breathing room. Okay, make sure you're drawing them in. Or you can dorsiflex your feet. Take the pinky side of your toes towards your kneecaps, like pinky side. And then playfully open up your feet to the outer walls without hurting yourself. Oops, sorry, my mic was covered. So playfully finding your way to constructively, energetically, vibration-wise, open up your gluteal flesh, your hips. Whatever that means for you for 5, for 4, for 3. Shoulders are broad if you're using your arms for 2. Good. And when you're ready to release your legs up towards the sky, release them up, shake them up.
And then let's bend the right knee foot on the floor, grab a hold of the knee crease, rotate your left ankle of the left leg, slide your hands up that, shin, calf, straighten your right leg, bow your elbows out, start to use your abs to pick your head. Your forehead comes in, your chin comes in, you tuck your head into flexion, and see if you can give yourself a connection here. Maybe you grab your heel, but your feet are scissoring away from each other, like you're opening up scissors really wide. Get into the belly as much as you can, no matter how much booby and belly stuff you have, get right in there for 2. And then very mindfully reach the right leg up, bend both knees, hold on to your kneecaps individually, stir your legs around, notice that energy. Release the left foot to the floor, interlace your fingers behind the right thigh to your best ability. You're going to play with your range and flexibility without pushing. Start to extend the left leg, bow your elbows, tuck your forehead, your chin, your head lifts. And you're playing with the idea of scissoring your legs away from each other. If you have your heel, bow your elbows out and use the tone of the belly. So you're lifting yourself up by toning your belly for 5. Reach out through the pointed feet for 4, for 3, 2, and then bend or extend the left leg up, bend both knees, shake out your legs. Good. And then release both feet to the mat. Feet as wide as your mat. So you can use the bird's eye view. From here, using your breath, inhale knees always, most often, not always, to center. Exhale your knees to a side. Doesn't matter which one right now. Inhale center, exhale to the side. Feel that in your hips, your pelvis. So the inhale brings you to the center. The exhale, windshield wipe your knees to the side. So your feet are dorsiflexed, and you're finding the inner and outer edges of your feet. I happen to have a bolster on my right hip. Some of you may have your bolster handy. Place it at your right hip, because now we're going to windshield wipe both knees all the way to the right as you exhale. Take your right foot to the left thigh and let both knees continue to drip towards the floor, creating a huge extension through the left side of the body for some of us. That bolster could be your friend and support your hip. If it's too much, reach your arms overhead, grab a hold of your left wrist, and just take yourself a little bit over towards your right to banana. You see in the bird's eye view, it's a big banana on that left side. Just like we did at the beginning of class, where we just kind of bent sideways. Close your eyes and breathe at least good 5 breaths here. Yeah. And then when you're ready, we could dismantle slowly by releasing your arms towards the side. Pick up your right leg, then the left leg, shake them out. Feeling those hips. You can automatically park that bolster on the left. Land your feet as wide as your mat. Exhale, windshield wipe your knees to the left. Pick up your left foot to the outside of your right thigh. Slide that bolster if you need it. Reach your arms up overhead. Grab a hold of your right wrist. Scooch it over a little bit shoulder-wise. Both shoulder blades stay down though. Okay, so really pay attention to the shapes that you're formulating. Make sure whatever shape you're creating for yourself, that it is a shape that you can exhale. What I mean by shape, you are meant to be the posture, the asana that you're meant to be. There is no necessity for you to mimic or look like anyone else. Just be you. Breathe fully into the right side of your body to your best ability, and noticing that sensation for 5 more breaths, or 4. For 3, no fighting. What I mean by that is, like, a lot of people, and I still watch them after I say it 10 times, if it's a struggle, why would you take the bolster out? Just let it be so that you can get into that hip without feeling like you're like at the edge of almost pain. When you're ready to inhale, releasing left foot, shake up both legs towards the sky, give them a little shake, 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 shake. Let your feet land, and this is it. Take a moment to take your hands to your belly, flush, heel toe your feet as wide as your mat, and let your knees fall in. We're spending the next moments of our practice doing this. If you happen to have a blanket and you need it for your occipital, make sure it's not a pillow. You don't need to be tucking your head in flexion. As long as your neck is in neutral, that's what we want to create, is a neutral neck. Closing your eyes, stack your hands at your hips or your belly flush, let your elbows relax, and then come back to the mind's eye. If you prefer to lengthen your legs out into a full Shavasana, make sure your feet are not touching anything except for the heels on the mat. Coming back to your breath and the mindfulness of you are the creator, you are the leader, and you are the decider. In your standing postures, you are able to lead yourself, being clear with the intentions of your breath, of your movement. This is the practice of consciousness, of evolving ascension. You are just as you need to be. You are not broken. You do not need to be fixed. Just to wake up and be aware. I'll silence myself while you enjoy your Shavasana. Start to move your head just easily. I know it wasn't a long Shavasana, it's only a 45-minute practice. Start to move your head from side to side, cognizant of your breath and awareness of just being in your mind's eye. Keeping your eyes closed as much as you can. Start to bend one knee, then the other knee. Hug your knees towards your chest and slowly roll to a side that really truly resonates with you. And you can rest here. Just even a minute of rest, which we did more than a minute of, is an amazing way to restore yourself. Take a couple of breaths here. And when you're ready to root that top arm and extend that top leg, press yourself up, and oh my goodness, there we are. And as you know, even though it's a 45-minute practice, I often go over it. Find your seat that works most optimal for you. Rolling your shoulders back, inviting jaw movement, neck and shoulder movements. And then let's inhale, reach the arms skyward, say yes to life. Say yes to living your life. When you're ready to exhale, hug those hands in towards Anjali Mudra at your heart. May you continue to have the courage of your heart to discern and to provide yourself with care, which leads to love, which leads to you being content, known as Santosha. Let us end this practice with the sound of Om. Deep breath in. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. May you feel the peace, be the peace, and continue to practice peace. Namaste. If you're needing a little Shavasana, join me in the Restore and Breathe or the meditation practice. See you in the next episodes. Please subscribe with your friends. Literally get your friends to subscribe and share the subscription with them in maybe a community Friday night Let's Do Yoga with Teresa practice on your big screen TV. Thank you. From my light to yours.